Hey everyone, it's Jen, and we are back with another episode of the Trading Vlog.
I don't know how you can't be bullish on this. We're starting to get a lot of saturation when it comes to AI agents, and it is at a $12 billion market cap. It is Sunday, 3:30 a.m. The markets are fucking obscene right now.
Friendly reminder, and I think this will become evidently clear throughout the episode, I am not a financial advisor. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Anyways, so for the last 2 weeks since I last posted my vlog, it's been pretty interesting. My portfolio was really just going with the market, bouncing between that 80 to 100K range up until this past weekend, which was the craziest 48 hours on chain I have ever experienced. Last Friday night, President Trump launched a meme coin that ran all the way up to $75, and less than 48 hours later, First Lady Melania launched her meme coin. I have never seen so much wealth generation in such a short time period before. It was amazing to see the homies win big on this. My friends immediately scanned the Trump coin after it was posted to Truth Social at 20 cents. And I, however, unfortunately had just walked into the spa 3 minutes prior. I was still able to get in somewhat early, around $8, but I made a lot of costly mistakes this weekend that essentially zeroed out any profits. And the main mistakes that I made were threefold. I over-rotated, over-traded, and over-leveraged. And in retrospect, a lot of that was just emotional at its core. The first few leverage trades I did went pretty well. I came out with some profit, and then this happened.
Oh my god, are you guys seeing this? Oh my god. What the fuck?
And what went wrong here was I got insanely greedy. I saw so many seven-figure P&Ls from spot positions, and I was like, oh, I can get close to that on leverage. And since I had opened this leverage trade at $24, my liquidation point was so low. So instead of closing out that trade, I started removing margin and I was adding more to my leverage long. The price action on the chart looked good. It was Sunday and I knew I wanted to exit the trade before inauguration, and I set my take profit at $80. And the chart just kept ticking upwards, leading into this celebration rally, $71, $72, $73, $74. And then Melania launched her meme coin. And it should be said that the magical thing about the Trump launch specifically was that no one knew it was coming. It was a pretty steady climb up as more and more people realized that it was real. And with Melania, everyone was just trying to jam because they saw what happened to the Trump coin. So a ton of transactions were just being slow across the Solana network, not even for just trying to buy Melania, just selling other things. So when Melania launched, we saw this massive liquidity suck from Trump and pretty much most other tokens. Trump fell from $75 to around $37. I was able to close my long at $50 with $30K in profit, but then I was trying to reopen longs while I was also trying to ram into Melania with very few transactions going through. And then I proceeded to attempt to full port my portfolio into Melania, so I sold out of a lot of my existing positions, including conviction plays, to go into Melania while getting liquidated on my new Trump longs. And it was just a mess. I was only able to push through 3 transactions for Melania. And this, if you can't tell, was sheer panic. I didn't have a plan, and I was strictly just acting on emotion. And I think that was my biggest mistake across both trades. After the dust settled, my portfolio was pretty much at a break even around 100K, which was great. But I was in this emotionally heightened state. I hadn't slept a whole lot. And of course, instead of walking away and just calling it a weekend, I started chasing on leverage again, which did not end up well for me. I ended up losing about 30% across my entire portfolio. But We pick ourselves up from the bootstraps, learn from these mistakes, and run it back. So what I ended up doing was I bought back into Buzz and Tank, which are conviction plays for me. I sent them into a separate holding wallet outside of my trading wallet along with 75 Sol. I had to replenish the ETH on base, and I also put an ETH on Ethereum mainnet because there have been some plays there that I've just missed because I didn't have any ETH readily available to trade. Here are my 4 top takeaways from the 48 hours of on-chain madness. 1. With both President Trump and Melania launching meme coins, it sets a precedent for others to do this. And I feel like we're going to see more and more of them launch from celebrities, well-known figures, etc. And instead of rotating out of existing plays, I would say have some liquidity set aside for those big launches. 2, which is kind of connected to 1, is if you have conviction plays, I personally wouldn't sell out of them to chase whatever new launch is happening because I did this. I literally just did this weekend. And what ended up happening was I had to buy back higher. And honestly, I would have been better off just sitting in my conviction plays. I would literally be up a hell of a lot more than me rotating into trying to chase the next hype thing, right? 3 is you haven't won big unless you realize your profits. So if you're up big in a position, secure your profits and then just walk away. Go reset, close the computer, get out of there. And 4th is leverage is fun, crazy, but it is also so easy to get burned. Since I had my position again opened pretty early and my liquidation level was pretty low compared to the price, what I should have done was either 1, set a big fat stop loss in massive profit, or just have closed out the position partially as it gone up. So big regrets there. That was a pretty big leverage position that I basically zeroed out, but those were good lessons learned. What I will say right now is that the trenches on Solana are feeling very PvP, player versus player. There's a lot of newly injected capital from Trump coin, and there's a lot of instant rugs and pump and dumps. So definitely be careful. I'm definitely trying to be more diligent about where I'm firing and where I'm gambling until the dust settles. I'm still going for those consistent trades. I'm realizing on base, my sweet spot is usually around 3 to 4x. And on Sol, well, it just depends. We always try to target a minimum of 2x on Sol, but sometimes I'm able to pretty consistently also hit 3 to 4x there too. And then the last thing I will say is if you miss the Trump or Melania trade, don't beat yourself up. A friend of mine said it best. Basically, focus on what comes next. The fact that the president of the United States launched a meme coin should really be like a gun firing to begin the race. And I think we're in for a pretty crazy 4 years. So until the next one, friends, bearish or bullish, keep smashing buttons.